Based on this short story by Del James there. Welcome back to Most Wanted, live from London into your living room, wherever you are in Europe. You'll be very glad to hear that my next guest, a very special guest, they come all the way from America to be on this programme. Hope they won't regret it. Blackie Lawless and John Rod from W.A.S.P. Yes, here they are. Welcome, guys.
How you doing?
Howdy.
Hey, thanks for coming in. Thanks. Long trip, yes, for a short time on MTV. Now, you're here, of course, to celebrate the imminent release this Monday of the new album. The new W.A.S.P. album, The Crimson Idol, and sort of the first rock opera of the 90s, is it?
Safe to say.
So why do you want to write a rock opera?
Well, instead of that, I want to know why these little microphones are here. These things are really starting to bother me, man. I'm telling you.
But you probably can't.
This reminds me of a bad experience I had in Taiwan one time.
Tell us about that, Blackie.
No, well, they can't get it on TV. That's the only problem.
Can't say like that.
Those little microphones are just in case the other ones you've got attached to you break down and blow up.
Sure they are.
Yes, they are.
Where were we? Sorry about
now,
that.
You've
I'm
made
humouring myself here.
This album, if the guys and girls out there buy the new W.A.S.P. album, it's not the normal W.A.S.P. stuff, is it? It's the whole story from beginning to end about this guy called Jonathan.
Right.
And you wrote it, and it's not autobiographical, but there are
Not
experiences.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things. I mean, first of all, one of the things I had to discover that I'd never done anything like this before, so one of the things I quickly found out was having an idea for a story and writing it are two completely different things.
Yeah, I know about that.
So, you know, you've done it before.
I've tried to do it.
Well, you know, you sit, usually when you make a regular album, you have the luxury of recording the songs, and then after they're done, you create a running order for it. Well, you don't have that luxury when you do this, because when you write the story then is in stone. So you're scoring a film. So the whole thing I'm thinking in the meantime while we're doing this is like, remember the flow, don't screw up whatever you do, because when you get to the end of this and you go to put it all together, if the flow ain't there, you got to tear it all down and start it all over again. And after 2 years of doing that, that was not a very attractive thought.
Why didn't you said scoring a film? Why didn't you go straight to some big film director and say, hey, I got this great idea for this?
Because I'm too damn greedy to give them the money. What do you think? You know, well, originally it started out as being a film. Now that we're done with, we've shot the whole story on film to this point of what we're going to use on the live show. And once we saw that, then, you know, the wheels started clicking again, and we are pursuing film companies right now as we speak.
Excellent. So it's all out on video as well, then? The album is going to be a complete video?
Eventually, I mean, because what we'll do later on in the year is we take the Crimson Idol out on tour. We'll do it in its entirety from beginning to end.
Right.
And the video for the Idol is like a small version of what the live show is going to be, because you're going to see this big, gigantic mirror behind us, because the mirror plays a very important part of the story. It's the boy's alter ego. So you will see his life story going on behind us. It's like, you know, in the old days when you had a silent film, you had an organ player playing up there. Well, now you got a film with a metal band playing up there.
And you won't be playing an organ, probably, no?
No comment.
No comment. Gotta keep it safe, I guess.
Really, I keep looking at this thing.
I'd love to know your experience in Taiwan.
No.
But the guy we've just seen there on MTV, it just went out as you were talking, he's a great guy. He's Chainsaw Charlie. I can't actually describe how you describe him on the album, because it's not family words, are they, I guess?
And you want to know about Taiwan? That makes Charlie look like a day at the beach.
Tell us, this Chainsaw Charlie, he's representing the great big moguls of the great big record companies.
Well, you know, he's part of the machine. I mean, I'll be frank with you, we had a very, very bad experience in Los Angeles with somebody out there at the label, and we begged and begged for 3 years to get off the label, and they would not let us go. And so we wrote this song, and they let us go.
That's your revenge.
You know, sure, you know. You find that there are more than one way to skin a cat. You know, there's a part in this story where Charlie is talking to Jonathan, and he explains to him what the chainsaw is and the morgue. He says the morgue is the place where all artists will eventually whore themselves to commercialism. It's the place where the music comes to die. So, you know, depending on how you're looking at it, you have to make a decision as to whether you want to actually be like that in your career or not. I don't mean you per se, but I mean, God knows you wouldn't do that. But
of course I don't like that.
Out here doing a jig for everybody.
I think you'd do it.
Do you, John?
I think you would, Ray.
Well, I don't know. Right then, okay then. Now, it's another personal experience. I know because I've watched your electronic press kit, and I know that you've said that you actually met someone during your years, there was a fortune teller, and in the album it comes across as the boy meets the gypsy.
Right.
Tell us about that. Gypsy meets the boy.
Right. Dyslexia strikes again. No, I had an experience when I left the New York Dolls that I went to this party and I met a girl there, and she asked me if I wanted my fortune told, and I really didn't believe in it. So I says, yeah, all right, whatever, you know. And so she says, you've just come out of something that's relatively important, but there's going to be a great void in your life. You're going to go on to make whatever you've just come out of look like nothing. And I thought, well, yeah, that sounds great on paper, you know, but it's like, let's see it materialize. I'm 19 years old at the time. So, and a week later, I went to another party, and another woman came in and read my fortune. I mean, it was 2 times in 1 week. I know this sounds bizarre, but it's true. Told me the exact same story, almost word for word, and it has come true exactly like they said it would. And I mean, I'm not like a believer in that stuff, but I mean, let's put it this way. At least it's got me wondering at this point, because I mean, 2 people telling you the same exact story, you know, it makes you start thinking maybe there is something to this stuff, you know. At least in my mind, anyway. At least the jury's out on it. You know, I'm not saying no, it doesn't exist.
Cool. What about, I mean, if it's a story from beginning to it, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. This guy goes through a massive transformation in his life, and at the end, something happens to him, which maybe I shouldn't talk about now. But is there a moral to the story then? There always are morals.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. It may come true.
Excellent. Okay. Next time you see these guys, they'll be performing live.
Maybe.
Yes, you will.
How much money?
It's in the contract.
Really, how much money you got?
It's in the contract.
We're going to hold your ass up now, boy.
They'll be back performing live. Believe me, I have the power over these people, you know. After some more music and some more words from our sponsors. And, of course, I'm going to get to know about the Taiwan experience now. So join me later with W.A.S.P, won't you? So about that Taiwan experience.